Good morning, students.
Good
Here the
morning.
topic for the today's discussion is anamnesis. I've seen the previous question papers, NTR University and various other universities. Most of the time, like these are the topics. These are the topics are uh, not purposefully, but we ignore it. Generally, teachers we ignore and we are not giving importance. So sometimes suddenly such type of topics, such type of questions will be there on your exams. At that time, so after knowing the discussion detail explanation about the anamnesis, you will know that here this topic is having simple information, but we need to at least make a discussion. So with the discussion, we'll came to know that yes, here the topic. Sometimes such type of topic question will be comes in the examination. Uh, Diagnosis homeopathy, pathology homeopathy, and anamnesis. Such these are the topics. At least uh, once once the discussion, you will know that why today's topic has been taken. But I have seen that it is a very important question. Most of the time I have seen alternate year in the examination also for third BHMS anamnesis. This is for 5 marks. It is important for 5 marks. So much of uh, some detailed description is given by the author. Just I am taking the points. What are the points to be remembered for explaining for the anamnesis? We are taking for the discussion. Okay, right. First, the word. The word anamnesis is derived from the Greek ana, which means going back, and amnesis, which means to remind or to recall. This is the word. How that anamnesis word is derived from the Greek. And what is uh, the dictionary definition or the one-line definition about the anamnesis? Anamnesis is nothing but diagnosis of the patient as a person. Diagnosis of the patient as a person. So this most now we are seeing the some of the axiom, some of the quotation about homeopathy. Homeopathy treats the patient, not the disease. Then the question is there in the examination. For example, homeopathy treats the patient, not the disease. And what is your explanation? So your explanation is nothing but concept of anamnesis. Your answer is concept of anamnesis. Question may be the directly anamnesis, or question may be the homeopathy treat the patient, not the disease. And you be aware and giving explanation about anamnesis, it is the right answer. Now coming to homeopathy point of view, here what we are doing, the process of anamnesis is nothing but diagnosis of the patient suffering. A study of the patient as a person enable the physician to answer the questions like what kind of person is the patient. Person, what kind of person? That is very important for understanding in homeopathy. What happened with that person? Why the person has fallen into ill? All the answers. Understanding the person, homeopathy point of view is very important. Understanding the person, homeopathy point of view, how we'll know that? Once if we apply, once we are making the application about the anamnesis, we'll know that yes, by the application of anamnesis, and we understand the person, what happened with the person, why this person only, and why the person is fallen into ill. All the answers. Further, the questions is helps in the homeopathic physician finally selecting the simillimum from the materia medica. Method of anamnesis. Method of anamnesis here, three steps are there. Method of anamnesis, three steps are there. The first step in the process of anamnesis. Method of anamnesis, three steps are there. First step in the process of anamnesis is proper homeopathic case taking. Of course, you know that. And this case taking is the weapon in homeopaths. And the superiority of homeopathy is nothing but investigation, interrogation, our way, our own way. That is case taking. Case taking is not simply compiling, pooling the all the symptoms and segregating in the record. It is case taking is an art. Homeopathic case taking is an art. So that art we should uh, very thorough to elicit the on what are the complaints from the patient. So the first step in the process of anamnesis is proper homeopathic case taking. while case taking, as a duty of the physician, we should avoid what is that the casual, the formal approach to the patient, and we should consider the patient as a human being. So coming to the where orthodox case taking, generally they never give importance to, they never look the patient face, they never give the sufferings of the patient minutest things. They always they depend upon his biochemical changes, his pathological changes, his changes into the pulse, his changes into the blood pressure, changes into his cough, sputum, urine. So here what happened with the person? So uh, simply that it should not be a pathological specimen, the tissue changes which happen into the body, and behavior of the patient is to be considered, and how the family, his relation with the family members also very very important, and what are the challenges is there in his life, whether the person is achieved the challenges, whether the person react, yeah, any failures are happening into the life, how the person's reaction towards the failures, and what the success. Again, this is also very important. When he got the success, how his behavior is, when he in success, how his behavior, when his failure, how his behavior, and what this is to be investigated in the first step. So relation with the family members, and how not only with the family members, the person's how his behavior with others, friends, relatives, and colleagues, staff members or friends, whatever may be there, and patient behavior with the family members, relatives, and his mind and his habit also very very important. What are the habits are there, and what is the challenges, what are the aims and objectives in life. If failures comes, how will be react? If success will comes, how the person will? If the success will come, how the person will be in the same attitude, same mood, or the person will be become egoistic. So this we need to find out all these things. So anamnesis here, the this is the first step of a process of anamnesis in the method of in the case investigation, that is to be noted. Now what is the need of knowing all these things? These are helps, all these are helping but the state of the mind of the person in the current situation. So these things will give the clue to the physician for selection, for selecting the medicine. So these are nothing but common and uncommon symptoms of the patient. The method of anamnesis is giving insisting that we should consider not only the uncommon peculiar symptom. Most of the time we are knowing that our selection of the medicine is based on the PQRS. Anamnesis is telling that along with the PQRS we should consider both common and uncommon symptoms also. Now the anamnesis demands now it is mean here we are studying the person in the two way. The two ways, one is a longitudinal section of the first patient and the cross sectional of the person. So longitudinal section of the person is nothing but patient's lifespan. The entire life of the patient has to be studied, means what is from where the person hailed. So what is the education the person has uh, gone through that. What is the economical status? What is the social status? What is the communal status? Everything is to be considered. Lifespan, the person how he achieved, and the failure how the person will be reacted. These are the longitudinal sectional studies. And where of course another one is the second one, that it is nothing but investigation of the case or presenting complaints. That is a cross section of the person, cross section of the patient. So patient has to be made into a study in the longitudinal sectional and a cross sectional study. Now coming to the second step. First step is case taking. In the case taking, we need to go through deep into the longitudinal and as well as cross sectional. Now the second step, what we are getting the information. The second step. Second step is nothing but sorting. Sorting means segregating, all the segregating of the symptoms. In this step, what we are giving the general symptoms, we are giving the mind symptoms, and we are giving the aversions and desires, modalities, and of course, especially for the cases, in the cases for the female, menstrual symptoms again given very important. Even though case is not having any relation with the chief complaints, in the female, we need to note that menstrual symptoms also. The mind again in the menstrual symptoms, the patient mind at at the time of the menstrual, during the menstruation, before the menstruation, after the menstruation, how was the flow, And apart from that, other things again. Now the aversions, desires, modalities, sleep is very important. Dream also very, very important. So this is to be considered in the second step. So detailed study of the past history, detailed study of the treatment history, detailed study of the personal history, and all these give the clue regarding what how it will helps in the clue. This will the peculiarity of the person, how the person is reacting with the family, how the person is reacting with the diseases, how the person will be responding with the treatment. People will say that they are taking the medicines even though they are not feeling better. So that is to be noted into the case. So all these again the step to select the simillimum, which is all complete collecting the data for selection of the homeopathic medicine. Okay, this is the second part. Now the next part is study of the person. Mind sufferings are there. The reaction of the person to suffering. So this is the personalizing the patient in comparing with his personality with the drug personality of the materia medica. So drug personality of the materia medica means what is the medicine we are selecting, that is nothing but drug personality. So uh, anamnesis is including the common symptoms of the disease and also diagnosed pathological condition of the disease. So anamnesis is the case derived from the disease diagnosis. Uh, Anamnesis is nothing but here diagnosis of the person. Here it is giving that it is concluding that we should include both the common and uncommon symptoms. Now, what is the importance of anamnesis? Once you go through all these pages, you will get simplification about the what is anamnesis. You remember the word and you remember the definition and what are the steps are there, what is the importance of the anamnesis. Now coming to the importance of anamnesis. First of all, anamnesis is nothing but it is the here we know the word that is the individualized. This is nothing but little advanced thing. That is the depth of individualization of the patient. Individualization, up to individualization, we know that what is the importance of individualization. So types of individualization, person individualization, drug individualization for selection of the medicine, and what are the steps for the individualization. Again here the time comes, anamnesis is nothing but detail about individualization of the patient, the detail about both his past and present history. And for homeopath, the treatment anamnesis is very, very important. It explains the patient person, his reaction to the environmental. This is also very, very important. Now we are in the physical generals, we are noting all those things are nothing but the person's response toward the environment. So telluric changes and thermal changes and environmental change, what are the changes happens into the environment, how the person will react, that helps in the person's individualization. And anamnesis derived from the totality. We collecting the process of case taking and constitutional curative process of chronic diseases. And here anamnesis, the advantage of the anamnesis, importance of the anamnesis is nothing here. Palliative treatment, it cannot be applied to the palliative treatment because we are focusing on for cure. We are focusing on completely relief. Now the third point is diagnosis. Here, diagnosis possible only after the disease progress. In common, this is a general information. Diagnosis possible only if the disease progress in detail, and the pathological changes happens into the body only. Then the laboratory basing on the tissue changes, basing on the laboratory investigation only, we are concluding that this is the diagnosis. Otherwise, diagnosis is not possible. But this is least important at the stage of the functional changes. So that early stages of the disease, it is completely depend upon the what is that here all the symptoms which are explained by the patient only, explained by the person only. So here anamnesis is the condition patient receives the medicine, not the name of the disease. So anamnesis helps for treating the patient, but not with the name of the disease. This helps in the patients all the signs and symptoms, chief complaints, common symptoms and uncommon symptoms. Now the fourth point, this is very important point. Now in the pathology, in the medicine, you have gone through the some of disease names, and you have find out etiology, causes. And the first sentence you have seen that unknown etiology are idiopathic cases. So the the etiology is not known. Idiopathic cases are there. So what is the reason behind of the disease? No reason. Unknown etiology is the word which is there in the textbook. So such cases are there. then how to proceed and how to make that homeopathic treatment. And the diagnosis is not there, cause is not there, then how that homeopathic medicine can be selected? Again, hope. First, that is anamnesis. Anamnesis only gives the hopes to the physician, homeopathic physician, to make the treatment impossible cases, difficult cases, and cases which are unknown etiology, cases which are in idiopathic cases. Now the fifth point is anamnesis can be done in any stage of the disease, not only the initial stage, any stage of the disease. And the main aim of anamnesis is to prescribe a minimum remedy. Sixth point, final point is anamnesis is a holistic approach. And homeopathic here, now we are considering person as a whole. As a whole, the complete person as a complete. So the person as a complete here, anamnesis is nothing but holistic approach. Holistic approach means considering person, his disease personality and also his normal personality. We are writing the symptoms. We are including at the time of the evaluation, at the time of the analysis and evaluation, chief complaints along with the chief. The physicals are altered during the disease condition, and the physicals are normal physical conditions has to be compared. That that is this information is giving the disease personality of the person. So the person behavior and a personal emotional response in the society, everything this helps treating not only in all the common ailments, also psychosomatic diseases. So these are few importance of the anamnesis. Now I'm proceeding towards the its continuation, diagnosis. So what is diagnosis? First of all, diagnosis is nothing but determination of the disease. Determination of the disease, that is diagnosis. Now diagnosis, what is the need of knowing the diagnosis? First of all, the word diagnosis derived from the dia means between and gnosis means knowledge. So diagnosis is the study and naming the disease with which the patient is suffering. So it can be coined as a general term applied to all the persons. For example, here author has given some of the complaints are given here. A person is suffering with what is that? The person is suffering. These are the three people are suffering with evening rise of the temperature, uncontrollable persistent cough, and for a long period, and weight loss and hemoptysis, blood present in the sputum. These are the four cardinal symptoms. As everyone you know that this is nothing but this is pulmonary tuberculosis. So three people are suffering with these are the chief complaints. Basing on these complaints, what we are concluding that here these people are suffering with the pulmonary tuberculosis. So this diagnosis and how the diagnosis helps to differentiate, make that people as we are applying the logic. Now method of diagnosis. Method of diagnosis, everyone you know that once we started the treatment, sometimes we need advise some diagnosis. It's again very important. In this process of diagnosis, common symptoms that they are the disease symptoms. Now general symptoms subject to the sensations, they are less important in orthodox mode of treatment. But in laboratory investigations, like when the person comes with a fracture, when the person comes with a acute abdomen, acute abdomen will find out getting the X-ray and CT scan, MRI, ECG, etc. These are for the clinical purpose, clinical diagnosis for the physician. These are very important for allopathic physician. Of course, these are also important for any system of medicine. Diagnosis is the ultimate aim to treat the disease condition. Why we need to diagnose? Because here in orthodox school of allopathic school of treatment, why it is important for them? Because they have a specific remedies for the specific name of the disease. They have a specific remedies, are they have a remedies for the specific diseases or the specific complaints. For example, vomiting only is the medicine. For example, fever only is the medicine. For example, what is that? Diarrhea only is the medicine. For example, constipation only is the medicine. Of course, maybe the dose is different, maybe the brand is different, but they have a specifics. So epilepsy, this is the medicine. Diabetes, this is the medicine. Hypertension, this is the medicine. So like that, for them, diagnosis is very, very important. Now we are making a discussion about the importance of the diagnosis. So diagnosis is important for any system of medicine. Importance of the diagnosis is very important, orthodox, because it gives the confidence, prescription, Confidence prescription means the person is suffering with a fever. What they will give? They will give the antibiotic. That is the confidence. So definitely, this medicine will works on this. Diagnosis must, for example, cancer person is suffering with the cancer. They will do the palliative prescription, and diagnosis helps in the determining the prognosis of the case. Prognosis of the case also very important. Person came on the first day with a cough, sneezes, etc. We are giving the medicine, and the next week person comes with the cough, more increased cough, and sputum is yellowish color. And the next week the person will comes cough, and it changes into the cough with the thick, and cough is continuously, and he is getting early morning cough, and he is getting the fever. All these are helping us here, helping us the prognosis of the case. So whether our medicine is going in the right direction or not. So the diagnosis is again important for at the time of the treatment. For example, treating the malaria. For example, treating the malaria. For example, treating the typhoid. For example, treating the jaundice. Yes, of course, very important. Hepatitis. Hepatitis. People will approach us. Most of the cases are they are using allopathic and homeopathy, Unani, and all the various systems of medicine. Of course, it is nothing will happen with the hepatitis, but they are afraid about they are having the hepatitis. Now, what basing on, there are some cases are there, they never show any sign and symptom. And any time, every time if we go for lab investigation, they come with the raised levels of the, what is that, uh, what is the test for the hepatitis? What you will suggest the person is suffering with hepatitis, what you will suggest for lab investigation? Anyone? Anyone? You not have a fresh memory about the pathology.
Alkaline phosphatase and GPT, sir, will be high. Alkaline phosphatase and AGPTs will be high, sir.
What you will recommend to the lab? So a person comes, they are telling that he is suspecting. Someone told that you are having hepatitis. What you will suggest?
Blood samples, sir.
Blood samples, no.
Blood sample for what? Huh?
Antigen antibody detection, sir.
Very good, very good. Antigen antibody detection for the hepatitis. So most of the cases they will tell what they will tell, you know that. So just only the values, increased values of that. So now this is the situation. Then here again our treatment, how our treatment helps again is based on the diagnosis only. So accurate diagnosis only possible always by the lab investigations only. Diagnose helps in the advising the proper diet. Yes, this is also again very important. For example, person is suffering with the cholecystitis. For example, person suffering with the renal calculi. Yes, it's sure diet and regimen which is there in our in any system of medicine, because here it is not a controversy. Diet and regimen should be, we should tell them to diet and regimen, because the drugs, our selected drug which is nullified by if the person is taking so and so things are there. There are some drugs are there in our Medica. If we are prescribing these drugs, if they are taking such type of diet, that medicine won't work. For you know the what are the dietary restrictions, some of the drugs in the Medica. And again, for the disease also, for the disease condition also, there are some advices about the diet and regimen to the patient. And of course, diagnosis is also very important for medical legal purpose. I'm giving the treatment, person is better. I'm giving the treatment, person is better. A simple case I will tell you. Person will came to the rectal complaints, painless rectal bleeding. Painless rectal bleeding is the case, and we are giving the medicine. Patient is on and off, is responding, and we are happy. Patient is happy. But after 6 months, after 8 months, after 9 months, what happened? You know that all of suddenly, if his complaints are aggravated, if the person went to the any advanced investigation, the person will be diagnosed with the rectal cancer. Then here the mistake is done by the physician. So they don't give blindly. Better not give the blindly medicines to the all the cases. Better to cross verify. Better to get the diagnosis and follow that. So before the treatment, what the lab investigations are there, again give the medicines and again go for cross verification whether he is better or not. So painless bleeding, we should always remember in our mind. We should advise, even though he is better, we should tell them go once for colonoscopy, proctoscopy, whatever may be the latest investigation for that condition. So this is why, because medical legal purpose. If anything happen, who will be our problem will be for the physician. Again, another one is a preventive measures also. Person is suffering with the sexually transmitted diseases, and we came to know that after getting the ELISA test, after getting the VDRL test, he is suffering with the syphilis, he is suffering with the gonorrhea. And if we made a diagnosis, he is suffering with syphilis, he is suffering with rubella, he is suffering with any torch positive. So if we advises them, infertility case is there, we are giving the treatment continuously. They are not conceiving. It is a mandatory go for some of the investigation. Once recommend them torch test. What is there in the torch test? They will find out the toxemia, rubella, chlamydomonas. If these things are there, we better to concentrate on to make them it is negative. Otherwise, what happen? Even though the lady got the pregnancy, there is a chance of getting of abortion. There is a chance of getting of congenital anomalies. So diagnosis again very, very important. Finally, it may not be possible to diagnose each and every suffering patient. Sometimes, for example, here pyrexia unknown origin, idiopathic thrombocytopenia purpura. These are the very least some of the conditions. So what is to be mean here nowadays? All the research, all the systems, now the evidence based. They are just, most of the platform people are giving importance about evidence based. Have you treated any case about the renal calculi? Now, do you have any documentation? So just basing on signs and symptoms, once getting the knowledge about the second year pathology, it is easy for every one of us to make the person is suffering with the renal calculi. Of course, without lab investigation also. But evidence based record is very, very important. How many cases has been treated? What are the drugs drugs having efficacy? What are the drugs are most effectively working on treating? First grade, why the grades are given first grade, second grade, third grade? So first we are giving the first grade. If it is not responded, then we are giving the second grade. Sometimes there are the remedies. They are not proven, of course, but they are giving the results. So this is the importance of the diagnosis. So anamnesis today topic we made a discussion is anamnesis. Anamnesis is nothing but just you remember the steps and try to elaborate. This is important for 5 marks question. Anamnesis is nothing but diagnosis of the patient as a person. So in homeopathy case taking, homeopathy treat the patient not the disease. Again another it is a applicable type of question for this answer. Anamnesis is the question or homeopathy treats the patient not the disease. These are the two questions. Your answer, your explanation is always giving the explanation about all these paragraphs. Question is homeopathy treats the patient not the disease. Entire information what we made discussion about this thing only. Method of anamnesis, 3 steps are there. First step is case taking. Yes. Second step is what is that? Sorting out the means evaluation and analysis. And third step is understanding the person's mind symptoms. These are the 3 steps which are there. And finally, the importance of the anamnesis and application of anamnesis with the diagnosis. So just go through all these lines. You will know what is the importance of why the anamnesis word has been used. That only the differentiation is that anamnesis is nothing but depth of individualization compared with the normal individualization. So most of the time, most of the homeopaths they differ with the diagnosis. What is the need of the diagnosis? It is wrong, because nowadays evidence-based medicine. Everyone is educated people will approach and they will inquire. Sometimes they will ask about the data. Will say that I have cured these many cases of infertility, I have cured these many cases of anemia, I have cured these many cases of typhoid. Yes, of course, it is acceptable. We have seen in the YouTube, we have seen in the Google, and we find out the homeopathy is a good for the allergic cases. Homeopathy is a good for the some of the cases. Can you show any documentation? Where is the documentation? Yes, I have treated a case of renal calculi. Where is the document? Document is not there. So better, and one very important is safe side. Private practitioner and institutionally we have to give some evidence. Yes, is that homeopathy is effective in these cases? Is hepatitis can be cured in homeopathy? Is that AIDS is curable in homeopathy? Is there any palliation? Is there any suppression? Is there? For all these, answer is again keeping the record. Of course, the protocol, simply it is a protocol. The protocol which is given by the CCRH, the protocol which is given by the AISH, the protocol which is given by the case pro forma. The column is there. In our case sheet also, the column is there. Lab investigation, basic lab investigation. Person is 40 plus, or person is 45. You just recommend them. Regular monitoring about the hypertension. And nowadays, every family member, most of the family members, most of the families, there are the persons, one person is suffering with the hypertension, one person is suffering with the diabetes, another person is suffering with the hypothyroid, and young people are suffering with the obesity and of course PCOD. Now this has become nowadays is one of the, these are called as a non-communicable diseases. These are non-communicable diseases. Hypertension, father, any of the family member is suffering with hypertension, he is suffering with the diabetes, and he is suffering with the hypothyroid, obesity, and another suffering with the PCOD or irregular menstruation. So what I mean to, why I am saying all this, because let here again this paragraph, this explanation is given. The homeopathy treat the patient, not the disease. So with the knowledge of pathology, with the knowledge of medicine, with the knowledge of surgery, you are gaining that what is diabetes, what is complications, what is hypertension, what are the complications, what are the thyroid functions, what is hypothyroid, what is hyperthyroid, and what is the obesity, moderate obesity, severe obesity, what is the mild obesity, what are the complications, and another one is what is PCOS. At least if we find out that, if we made the documentation about the diagnosis and we are giving the treatment, we know the efficacy, effective scope about homeopathy in these cases. We can confidently say that yes, homeopathy works on PCOS, on infertility, on male infertility, female infertility. For this, here evidence means diagnosis. Yes, so this is today's discussion about anamnesis and diagnosis. Doubts, Amina? Sindhu? Meanwhile, in between,
Sir.
94 people are, can again 4 people are went out. I don't know what is the reason. Maybe the technical, maybe the power, maybe the internet problem.
Sir, okay.
Okay.
I'll.
And one more thing, I'm planning to show the cases next class onwards, because yesterday I've seen total syllabus about your third BHMS examination. I'm not having any topics to take classes for you. Only the another thing is there, another side, your another episode, Saas Bhi Kabhi Bahuti, Argana, still it is continuing. What is the serial which is there in Telugu? It is still continuing. Putarekulu. Like that, your Arganan of aphorisms, it is not completed. It is running from the last 6 months. When it is going to end, I don't know. Again, the Mahabharata started. So the chronic disease topic has been given your teacher. The madam will take the chronic disease. My part of syllabus almost all means the topics which are not there to make any discussion. Now I am wants to show next classes onwards is the cases, so that at least you will learn the case processing and how to read the analysis and evaluation. Anything else? Right. Bye bye. Take